Hey everybody, I'm coming to you from my parents' house in Calgary. I'm out of the recovery facility. I didn't get a chance to record another video while I was there because after we had to start doing our dilations, it got kind of crazy busy, um, and there was just no good opportunity to do a video. So I'm doing one now, so I'll just continue where I left off before. My last video, I was just about to have the dressing removed. And all that. So I had the dressing removed on Friday, I think it was, and it was really nice to have it taken off because it gets all it was all like crusted over in blood and stuff. So it was just like having this like really hard like pad between your legs. So it made it so like you couldn't really put your legs together very easily at all. So they had to undo like a few stitches to take it off, and it didn't really hurt. Which was good. And so they take it off, and then you get to see it for the first time, which was really quite exciting. Like it was, you look down and you can see that it's not there anymore. um, so, and actually, when I went back to my room after they had taken the dressing off for the first time, I just looked down at it and I felt so happy. A few tears came out, like a few tears of happiness came out because I was just so happy to have it gone. But at that time, I couldn't see my vagina at all yet because it was still, it still had the stent in it, and then there's this like blood clot. It's like kind of like a scab over top of the clitoris and the inner labia. So basically, you look down and there's like this kind of like big red patch, and then this like area that's like sewed together with this like end of a condom coming out of it. Um, anyway, so after they had the dressing removed, you had to go and have a shower and wash it for the first time. So you get in the shower and you like get the soap and you just kind of like gently just like rub it really, really gently. And touching it for the first time felt very different than before. I was actually surprised how much feeling I had down there. Um, I could feel basically everything I was touching, at least as far as I think I can. So as you just kind of wash it to get the blood off and everything, and then that was that. So then the next day is when the stent was going to come off. So we were all kind of nervous about that. But it's quite uncomfortable having the stent in because like you can't bend over or anything because you have this like big thing shoved inside you. So I don't know. We were looking forward to getting it taken out, but we were all kind of nervous about how it was going to feel. So anyway, my turn came to get it taken out, and so you get taken away to this room with like a medical table with stirrups and stuff, and then you put your legs up in it, and they undo a few stitches because it's like stitch closed to keep it in. So that actually hurt a little bit. It felt like when they cut it and then they were actually like pulling the stitches out, it felt like someone was kind of like sticking needles into my skin just a little bit, but only lasted like a second or two. And anyway, then they pull the stent out, which felt really weird. It was like part of your body was being like sucked out. It was a very strange feeling, but you get kind of used to it after. Anyway, so it gets pulled out, and I didn't really have much blood. And then the nurse who did mine, she said that she was like, she couldn't believe how like well healed my vagina was already. Like I didn't really have much bruising and I had very minimal amount of swelling and stuff. So she actually said that it looked like I had like a 3-month result already, which was pretty awesome to hear. And my incision lines are like just talking about now, but they're already kind of like fading away a little bit, which is pretty sweet. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. um, anyway, so she said that everything was going really well, and she actually said that I was recovering faster than anyone she's seen before, which was pretty cool. And then anyway, so then you have to, after you get the stent taken out, you have to go and do a douche for the first time. So you take the douche and you squirt it up there, and some blood and a little bit of like, I don't know, stuff comes out, and yeah, I don't know, it wasn't that bad. And anyway, then you have a shower again and wash it again, and then they come in and they show you how to dilate. So they give you your dilators, which I can show you right here. Sorry, I'm trying to balance the iPad. So you get this thing. Sorry, because I don't have my normal camera with me, I'm like having to hold. I'm having to try and balance the iPad between my legs. Okay, so you get these. They're the dilators. It comes in a nice little pack. So this is the first dilator that they put in you. So it has these like markings on it, so you can see how far it is in and stuff. It's actually the number 2 dilator, but they used to have a smaller one, but they don't use it anymore apparently. Anyway, so they put this in you yourself, and then you hold it in there for like 10 minutes, and they just show you. So you have to like insert it like this at first, and then you have to angle it downwards, and then keep going in, and then they get you to put the other one in, which is a bit bigger. It's this one, so you can see side by side. It's a bit wider. It's like a fair amount wider, and it's about the same length. And anyway, so then you have to insert that yourself, and then you hold it in for 15 minutes, and then you're done. And that was my first dilation. So, first of many dilations, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, you do that, and then that just becomes your regular thing, that you have to follow this big schedule. You have to do it 4 times a day. And let me show you the schedule. It's like this big schedule. So you can see in the first month, it's like you're doing it 4 times a day. And you have to take a shower after the first time and a douche. And then after the last 2, you have to have these things called a Sitz Bath. And what a Sitz Bath is you get some soap, and like I have like a bar of soap, and then while you're running this bath, you kind of like turn the soap over and over in your hand, and it gets like the soap coming off, and then basically you just have like a bit of a soapy bath, and you get in and you sit in it, and you just kind of like swish the water towards your vagina, like whoosh, 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 to kind of get the water just flowing past. You don't like touch it or rub it yourself when you're in the bath. You just swish the water towards it, and it kind of just helps clean it out and everything. And I think the other reason why they want you to take the multiple Sitz baths is that it helps dry it out, because all this, if you take tons and tons of baths, it ends up drying your skin out, and I think that's kind of the deal. That's kind of what they want, because it will heal better if it's dry. So then you have to get out, you have to pat it dry, then you have to let it air dry for 15 minutes, and it's quite an ordeal. And you have to have the bath has to be clean every time, so like you have to wash the bath out with like antibacterial dish soap every time, and with your dilators too, you have to clean your dilators before and after you dilate every time. So before you dilate, you have to wash your dilators with antibacterial dish soap, and then after you dilate, you have to do that again. So anyway, so they showed us how to do our dilations, and then that just became our regular thing, that we did our dilations 4 times a day. What else? And and then the catheter. The catheter was the next thing to get removed. So we had a catheter in, and so it made us say you had to it wasn't attached to a bag the whole time. They just had it attached to this tube, and then you had a little valve, and then you could open the valve to go pee and close it to stop. But it's kind of funny, because like you go in and you get this catheter, and then all of a sudden like you have to stand up to go pee. So it's like you get a vagina, but the first few days you have your vagina, you have to stand up to pee, which I thought was a little ironic. But and then after you go pee, you get like the worst sensation. It's like this electric tickle inside, and yeah, so like as soon as the pee flow stops, you get this like horrible like ugh, feeling inside. So it was really good to get the catheter out. After you get the catheter out, you need to go pee within a few hours to show that everything is working properly. By the way, it didn't really hurt to have the catheter taken out at all. It only felt uncomfortable for a couple seconds, or like even just like a second of uncomfortableness. Anyway, then they give you this like little device that you put in the toilet, this like special little cup thing with a meter on it, so you can see like how much you, like a volume meter, so you can see how much you've peed. So for the next day, you have to like pee into this thing and measure how much pee comes out. And you have to write down in the sheet like how much water and everything you drink and how much you pee. And that was kind of fun. It's kind of like amazing how much you actually do pee when you actually measure it, because I went like 3 liters that day. um, and yeah, and it sprays all over the place. When you first get it taken off, I was like peeing all over the place. It's getting a bit better now, but yeah, all over the place. um, so catheter is taken out, and then you basically just continue doing your dilations for the next couple days, and everything was fine. So I guess all in all, my whole experience at the hospital and the recovery facility was really good. All the nurses were amazing. Dr. Broussard and Dr. Belanger were both really nice and really friendly. They came and talked to us a few times about our result to make sure everything was okay. The food in the recovery facility was actually like really, really good. There's this really nice woman named Florence who makes it, and she's so funny. And anyway, but she just makes like this amazing food every night, and well, lunch and dinner, and that really helped a lot. So everyone kind of comes down and sits around this dining room table every night, and just kind of talks about what's going on with them. In a weird way, being at the recovery place was a lot like being at some sort of weird summer camp where no one can sit down properly. Because you're sharing a room with somebody and you have these group dinners and you're all just kind of sharing the same sort of experience. So anyway, it did seem quite a lot like being at summer camp, almost. Um, I guess my hardest experience that I had, the hardest part of my whole time was my roommate, actually. She had a skin graft done because she actually had the surgery done quite a few years ago, and she didn't follow the proper dilation procedures, and so she lost a lot of depth. So she was getting a revision done, and so she had to have a skin graft, and she was in a lot of pain and was bleeding a lot. So I felt really bad for her, but I also found that she didn't seem to take much personal responsibility for things. Like, she expected the nurses to do a lot of stuff for her, and just things like about being considerate to your roommate, she wasn't really doing. Like, she would leave like bloody dilators in the sink and stuff, and leave like bloody rags on the floor and like blood on the toilet and stuff, and like I'd have to clean up after her, and it was really not cool. Um, it was not cool at all. Um, I always tried to be as clean as possible, and I didn't make a mess in all the common areas that me and my roommate shared. Um, and then she would just like complain all the time. Like, I know she was in pain, and like I totally understand that, but she'd like kind of monopolize all the nurses' time. Like, I'd be talking to the nurses, and she'd just kind of like interrupt and start asking her own thing. So anyway, but it's okay because I feel bad for her just because she said she was in pain. So um, anyway, but generally the experience was really good for me. And now that I'm back, or and then actually after I got out of the recovery facility, it felt really strange to be out. Like, I almost missed it in a way. Um, I guess I miss that, like, there's people there to take care of you, and they can look at anything, and like anything that you have a question about, they can come and look at it or whatever. And like when I left the recovery facility, I started to feel kind of weird, and um actually started like crying after dinner, like after I had dinner with my parents, because I don't know, I just felt weird. I think it was all the emotions from the whole process, the whole surgery process and recovery. I think it was all of those like bottled up emotions coming out. Because like when I was there with other people and everything, um I think I was just trying to keep my emotions under check the whole time, and then like now that it was finished, all those emotions just came kind of like bubbling to the surface. But I feel a lot better now. And then my whole day flight back to Calgary, I missed 2 dilations, so um, so it was a little bit sore doing my first dilation when I came back. And now that I'm back here, it feels like all I do all day are my dilations, because it ends up taking. It says in the little guide that you only have to do the first one for 10 minutes and the second one for 15 minutes, and you're like, oh, okay, 25 minutes. But nope, it's a lot longer than that, because first you have to clean the dilators, then you have to do it, and then like inserting them and everything, like it takes a little bit of time, and then taking them out and cleaning them again, and then for the ones where you have to have a shower or a bath after, like so you need to like do a douche, which involves like sterilizing or like cleaning the douche container. Then you have to run the bath, or you actually have to clean the bath first, and then you have to run the bath, and then you have to take the bath for 10 minutes and then get out and then dry yourself off and pat it dry very carefully, and then you have to let it air dry for 15 minutes. So the times when you have to do the dilation and the bath, it ends up taking like over an hour. Um, I'd say probably like an hour and 20 minutes in total. Like all things included, like from the very start of the process to the very end of the process. Um, and then the one way to take a shower is like a similar kind of like hour, bit over an hour. And then you get to do one in the middle of the day where you don't have to take a shower or a bath after. Um, anyway, it ends up taking like 4 hours of your day doing dilations, and it makes it really hard to get anything else done. Plus, I've been really tired. So the last couple of days I've just been taking naps after my afternoon dilation. So it makes it like you wake up for the nap and then you have dinner and then it's like dilation again. And then you can like watch a movie and do something else and then dilation again. So it's just like dilation, dilation, dilation. They're not like painful. They're a little uncomfortable to do. Like the first one you insert isn't that bad, but the second one is a little bit more uncomfortable. And then after the first one of the day is always the most uncomfortable one, because I guess over the night it like swells up a bit or something, or starts trying to heal, and then there's a bit of blood. But the ones after that aren't so bad. But it's okay. It's only, you have to do this for a month, so I have to do this for 3 more weeks. Yeah. 3 more weeks of doing dilations 4 times a day. Then it's down to doing it 3 times a day for 2 months, I think. And then so on, less and less. Anyway, so that's me caught up. So I'll probably make a video again sometime soon, just to keep you guys up to date with what's going on, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.